You're listening to the Sonic Drive Show with Jax and Vest. This is Up FM 107.5.
So we're back here on the show. It's the Sonic Drive Tuesday. We have a special guest standing here in the studio right next to me. It is Matty from Concord Dawn. How are you, man?
Good, bro. How you doing? You alright?
Yeah, I'm alright, eh? We've had a real cold snap. You must have been here for it over the weekend.
Oh, I noticed. Yeah.
Yeah. And it caught me out. Like I was asleep with my mouth open, and it got real cold, and so my voice is all real haggard because of the.
Are you sure you haven't just been partying or something? You can tell me, bro. You can be honest.
I'm pretty tame. I'm pretty tame. This is about the craziest I get here on the Sonic Drive Tuesday.
I party like you wouldn't believe on the weekend, but I'm still not that husky, I don't think. I've survived.
It was a weird dream I had that night, actually.
Oh, really? Do go on.
Involving cold things and throats, and it's all.
Oh, here we go.
It's not a good one. Anyway. So you were here for the Ink 10th birthday, Ink and Coherent, or Ink's 10th birthday, right?
Yeah, amongst other things. But yeah, that was last weekend. Played down there on Friday. Had a grand old time, and then was down in Hamilton on Saturday, and then weekend before I did like Queenstown and Christchurch, which was like welcome back to New Zealand. It's snowing.
Yeah.
It was horrible. It was so cold because I've just come from summer, you know, so it's a bit of a shock to the system.
Yeah. It's always when you step off that plane, you know, because you got the air conditioning in the airport, and then the doors open, you're like, whoa!
Yeah, this is what it's really like out there.
Reality check.
Yeah.
So I'm really, really interested to know, because you're not always around to hassle, because you're overseas on different time zones and all that, being at the big festival centre of the world. What are you up to? What's Concord Dawn up to? Like, where are you at, like, at present right now? You've had the album and things have kind of tied over after that.
Yeah, so I did the album which came out last year, and then did a tour down here. Went back up there and mucked about for a bit. Did a few more gigs, obviously, supporting it over there. And then I was down here for the summer. I'm always down here for summer. Like, Austrian winter is like a heavy, heavy thing, you know? Like, I mean, here it's one thing, but there it's like -10, -15, you know? So I always escape down here, you know? So, and then after I finished up here, I just went back and I've been writing tunes, you know? So, I've been doing gigs as well, obviously, but mostly just focusing on that. So, there's an EP that's just come out this week with 4 new tracks on it. There's a little bonus track which I'll be mucking around with, doing a giveaway with probably later in the week or early next week. And then did a couple of other little bits and bobs, like did a couple of tunes with Trey from Wellington, did a tune with a guy called Jade from Budapest who came up to Vienna, and then just another 2 or 3 tunes that'll be sort of on the label after the EP, just rolling out on 12 inches and all that, you know?
Sweet, so this is on Uprising?
Yeah. So I'm kind of bored of it. I'm kind of sick of dealing with other labels and stuff. I'd rather be like annoyed at myself for being useless than annoyed at someone else for being useless, you know? So that's kind of how I'm playing it these days. But yeah, it's just it's good to get a whole bunch of stuff ready to go and to have a regular 12-inch output again, you know?
Yeah, sweet. No, it must be good to get back in the groove.
Yeah.
Puns and all that. So what kind of musical vibe are you on at the moment? Because I mean, like, the album took us somewhere, you know, totally new. It was very more like your sort of personality coming out in the music. Where have you gone in the last year?
Well, all the newer stuff is a bit more dance floory. I mean, it's definitely, if you're writing a tune for the intention of it being on a 12, it's always a different vibe from an album tune, you know? Like, you got to have vocals and kind of more musical songy things, I guess, on albums. Whereas with 12s, it can just be like, you know, straight up slamming rhythms and whatnot. So yeah, definitely doing things a bit more in that direction, I guess, would be the easiest way to put it.
Yeah,
just anything that doesn't sound like dubstep is what I'm into right now. No, I've been.
We have to advocate dubstep on the show.
No, I don't. No, I'm just teasing. I mean, I think, to be honest, though, if it's something drum and bass has always done, it's always been quite adaptable, and it's always taken influence from other genres and stuff like that. But I think in some ways, you know, if electro house is really big and then you write tunes that sound like electro house, or if dubstep's really big and then you write tunes like dubstep, I think it's nice to write some music for people who want something different from that.
Oh, yeah,
know?
yeah.
So it's not so much. It's not like a massive hate thing. It's just kind of more like, it's more just like providing something that's an alternative to what's out there, you know.
Yeah, you must get an urge, like musically, must get an urge for something that's different. That's more.
Yeah, I mean,
it's more of an experience.
Yeah, you want to make stuff that people haven't heard before in some ways, rather than going, here's the stuff that you've been listening to all the time, but at a drum and bass speed, you know.
Yeah, from Concord Dawn.
I mean, I've been getting on a pretty techie kind of tip, and kind of taking a bit of influence from techno and listening to bits and pieces of that and stuff. And just getting up in the morning and getting on with it and seeing what comes out, you know.
Yeah, and is it full time in the studio? Is it like wake up, hit the studio?
Yeah, no, I'm a pretty well behaved boy when I'm back up there, right? Like when I'm down here, I'm mostly just munting around and going out for dinners and stuff, and catching up with people and all that too, you know. And then gigs on the weekend. But when I'm up there, I'm in there probably 10, 11 hours a day. Like I get up early, go for a run, and like I'm in the studio at 8:30 working on stuff, you know.
Damn, just like that. Yeah. So obviously you're in the studio, you're exploring all your sounds and all that sort of stuff, and I think everyone kind of has a sound that really resonates with them. You know, everyone's got a favourite colour. Do you have a favourite, like, of all the sounds, do you have a favourite sound that...
Well, I go through phases. Like I've got various old, analog synths and all that. Some of which are, like sort of 30 years old and that now, you know. But I sort of fall in and out of, not out of love with them, but I have my favourites at different points. But I've been really into I've got like a Roland MKS80, and I've been really into that lately.
Yeah, nice.
So I've just been, I got a new little software app where you can do all your patch editing via this little software thing.
Oh, really?
Which is really nice. So instead of having to like menu dive and whatever, so that really revitalised my my use of that synth, I guess.
Yeah.
So I've been really into that lately. So.
Oh, really nice. Yeah, sweet. That's always good.
And I bought a few. Like last time I was down here, I bought a Hotcake pedal made by Paul Crowther. It's like a really famous guitar distortion pedal.
Yeah. Which
like the big guy, Oasis and Blur and all that use it, and all sorts of people. And so I've been bunging heaps of synths through that and like snotting them through that and grunging it out, and that's been quite fun.
You just have it under the desk. You're like, oh, what does this sound like? Yeah, sweet. Sounds good.
But I think it's cool. I mean, it means you're drawing on a different palette from the other people who are like, like maybe just loading up massive presets. But yeah, I think having like, a bunch of synths and plugging them into pedals and getting a bit crazy, you can come up with something a bit more original than if you're using the same software synth that everyone else is using and going through the same presets, then you can end up with, nothing that's going to freak anyone out or anything too original, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. And because, it's really interesting hearing about like the flip side of your sound, because, when we experience it, you come over to New Zealand, you give us like the real sample pack of Concord Dawn in the mix, and you're really well known for like crazy next level mixing triple drops all over the place. And is that tuning? Totally. And is that tuning? Oh, there's just crazy everywhere, and everyone's going nuts. Especially when I'm watching you play, I'm always super interested to know like what you're actually trying to do with the tunes. Can you explain like what it is when you're in the mix, because it's so full on? What is, in your mind, is what is it that you're trying to arrive at when you're mixing those tunes and getting flying?
Well, I do like to hold mixes. I like to keep two tunes in the mix, and I think it's about like, I guess the main philosophy would be like trying to play something that someone knows, but rolling something else underneath it the whole time, so that it's like live remixing or whatever. I know it's a really whack thing to say, but I've never been the sort of DJ who likes to just sort of mix for like 8 bars, 16 bars and hit the crossfader over and go, here's the next one, Because yeah. Anyone can do that really at home with their iPods, but for me the interesting thing has always been like, and taking quite radically different tunes sometimes, like taking a really mellow liquid funk sort of tune and then playing a techno tune at the same, techno-y drum and bass tune, at the same time, and having that kind of clash and that contrast. Yeah. And if you can be audacious, sometimes it comes off and you get some kind of like weird combo where people are like, wow, I would never even imagine those two together, And
yeah, that's true.
Just to do that, I don't know.
And you also draw from two different sides of the audience, like as far as tune recognition is concerned. Yeah. When you're bringing them together, you're connecting your audience in ways that they never thought they would have.
Yeah, and New Zealand is probably the best. If you're over in Europe, they'll go crazy not crazy, but they'll go crazy for some minimal, tech funk thing or whatever. Like they're not. But in New Zealand, it's like I have to play a lot of these big vocal tunes because that's what people know and love and whatever. And they go off to all that stuff overseas as well, But like. Sometimes you'll be playing in, Holland or something, and you'll play just some kind of deep little roller that, it's a cool tune, of course, and they'll go bananas for it, like it's the best thing ever, so.
See, and it's in New Zealand. It's the deep rollers get people sitting in the corners going, yeah, this is real good, but they're sitting in the corner.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, this is sick, but they're just on there on the couch.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want to get people rowdy and waving their arms around, you need to kind of draw a different kind of flavour, I think. Huh?
Yeah, it's really good. And and we don't get the whole festival vibe either, you know, like, because it's a lot of it's clubbing for us. Festivals are quite a rare thing, but overseas, especially in and around Austria and Europe and all that, you got the big festivals.
Yeah.
And you must have some, especially as a festival performer, you're well known for it. You must have some crazy punters in the audience.
Oh, for sure, but it's also a different sound. I mean, what you have to play there, you need to play big tunes, you know?
Yeah.
You can't, like, take it down for 20 minutes and, like, take it to a little soulful place and then build it back up or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's more just about banging it out. But then often as well, those sorts of things, you have shorter sets too. Like, you're often just doing an hour.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's one thing banging it out for an hour, but banging it out for 3 gets a bit kind of monotonous, you know? But, so, yeah, I mean, it's a different kind of vibe, I guess, you know?
Yeah. Have you ever had any, like, have you got any stories about crazy punters at these massive festivals that go on?
Oh, thousands.
Thousands of stories.
Yeah. It's really bad.
Do any come to mind? Like, just first thought that comes to mind?
No, I mean, it's just, normally the thing that often happens is, like, if you're in Russia or something, is you'll have someone who's, like, really wasted, but who can't really speak English when they're not wasted, and when they're wasted, you know, you get the guys who are just like, and they're trying to say something and they can't say it, you know, and they're like, your music, and they just start kind of yelling at you and making grunting noises and stuff, and like going bass and then doing things with their hands, and drums and then doing other things with their hands, and so that's always fun. That happens quite often, but that's what happens when you play in countries where people don't speak English. I mean, it's often difficult for them to get their message across, you know?
Yeah, it must be. And I'm living overseas, you know, you only get to visit New Zealand like when you're here. I mean, you're here for the summer and all that sort of stuff, but during the winter, when you come back just to like stab in and out, what is it that you get up to? I mean, other than the gig, what's like a casual day in the life of Matty when he's here?
Well, it's actually a social whirlwind of catching up with people and all that sort of stuff. Like, I'll go see my fams on Monday, my mum and my sister and my sister's kids and all that.
Oh.
Well, it's got to be done, and just kind of rest my ears a little bit after the weekend and all that, and you know, have a mellow one and not like drink any shots, you know, with my nieces. They're a bit young. And then
it's family time.
Yeah, and then like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday's like more just like catching up with everyone. I mean, I muck about. I won't write like a whole tune. I've got a set of speakers here and whatever, but I'll start things up and what have you, and do lots of like taking samples out of movies, or just mucking about with some drums, or making patches and Contact or Massive, and just doing lots of that pre-production. And it means when I go back to Vienna, I've got heaps of stuff ready to go. And then, you know, first day in the studio, I've got a whole bunch of new drums and new patches and some samples, and it means you've got something to start with instead of just scratching your head and having a blank slate, you know?
Back in the studio.
Yeah. So having all that stuff ready to go just means you can hit the ground running, you know?
Yeah. No, that's really cool. And it's good to hear because you must get inspiration back, like, when you're over here in New Zealand as well. Yeah, totally different vibe and all that. Now, but what I've got here, actually, is we're going to take a little bit random. I've got a list of a few phrases, and I wanted you to just tell me the first thing that comes to mind.
Oh, okay.
When I say these. So I'm going to start off with something a bit family.
This is a bit Freudian. I'm not going to get like a cest at the end of this.
He's writing it down in the background, this man. Yeah. That's what he's doing.
I get a sane stamp on my hand.
Ready to roll out tunes. So here we go. Word number 1 is Fred Flintstone.
Barney Rubble.
Oh, there you go. Bam. Teaming it up.
Yeah.
All right.
Should I have said Wilma? What does that mean? Does that mean I'm a bros before hoes kind of guy or something?
Possibly,
yeah, could do.
You're a good mate. That's what it is. Number 2, we got triple drop.
Triple drop. That, to me, the first thing I think about is like an ice cream, like some kind of I don't know,
like a Pocono ice cream, where they stack it up.
Yeah, like man. I don't know, some Neapolitan, like a strawberry chocolate vanilla kind of thing. Yeah.
Third one, we've got Morning Light.
Should I say not again?
Oh, don't go there.
No, not again, I guess. I actually played my first set in ages where I didn't play it on Hamilton, and I didn't even realise till it came off. I was like, oh,
you hadn't played it.
Oh, damn.
Hey, no, I don't think that's the case. I think last time I saw you, you played Fly Away Home.
Yeah.
But I don't think you played Morning Light.
Yeah, I mean, every now and then, maybe 1 out of 10, I just don't get around to it, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you don't want to play the same tunes for bloody ever, do you?
Oh yeah. That is very true. And also, you've got a new sound with the new album and all that sort of stuff. You must be sounding.
I mean, I play it sometimes, but
All right, so I've got another word here. I've gone with collaboration.
Collaboration. What does that make me think? Do I have to think of one word, or can I give you a sentence?
It's the first thing that comes to your mind, an image or anything. An experience.
Normally it's actually like having beers. Like, the main thing I like about having a collaboration with someone is it's not just even writing the tune, but it's like hanging out, for like a day or two and chatting about all kinds of stuff, and sort of you end up making a tune in the middle of all that.
Mutual territory.
Yeah. But it's been nice. Like, quite a few of the boys have come to stay in Vienna and that. Like, and so they'll come and stay for a couple of days, but it'll always be at a fairly cruisy pace. Not like we're just going to spend 3 days inside. Like, there'll be a bit of cafeing and whatnot in between as well.
A bit of cafe.
A bit of sightseeing, perhaps.
Sounds good. What do you think of when I say football?
Football. Well, that's life, mate. That's everything. Now, I'm a pretty big football fan, eh? So, I mean, it's one of the things that sucks about being New Zealand in summer, actually. It's the only thing I really, 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 can't stand about being down here in summer. Is like football just being on at ridiculous times of the day.
Yeah, or feeding off the highlight reel.
Yeah, and often it's like when I'm in a club, So, like, the game will be on and I'm in a club. So, how am I going to watch that, Just because it's like there, Saturday afternoon is our like Saturday night and all that.
Having a mix with the mini TV, a little portable TV.
So, but no, it's probably what I spend the most time doing apart from music stuff is like it's relaxing, watching football, watching it with my mates in Austria. They're obviously all about it. So.
Yeah, they
love it.
I think I interviewed you like 2 years ago. Yeah, and I mentioned football, and you just went for it.
I can go kind of nanas on that one. Now, I've been to a few games since I've been back as well. Like when I was here the last time, I went to like Italy against Spain in the Euros, which was like full on. But I've been to a couple more games in Austria, so like FC Porto against Rapid Wien in the Europa League, and a couple just like the local games and that. So it's always a good laugh.
Yeah, it's always good. And the vibe over there, obviously, you've got to get in on it.
Yeah, because you can't drink beers in the stadiums anymore.
Oh, what?
Yeah, so you have to get loaded before you go in there.
And hope you make it in.
Yeah.
So what comes to mind when I mention the biggest party ever? What is the biggest party ever?
Well, to be honest, it's probably Big Day Out, I think. Although I've done some pretty nutty ones in Russia. But
wait, at Big Day Out, I was there. I was about 20 rows back, and I remember they were throwing around a massive ball full of confetti.
Oh yeah.
And this ball was going around, and I was standing there in the crowd going, this ball's gonna hit Maddie. That's what it's gonna do. And you're in the mix, and I remember the ball comes out, it's sailing over, everything's in slow motion. And it just hits you, and I'm like, it got him, and you just pick it up, and you just throw it out of the stage, like, no one can have this ball. And it just bounced up outside, like, where no one could go. And
what a party pooper. There was one year as well where I actually air punched one, which was quite embarrassing too, where I like chucked it up in front of me and just like completely missed it. Which is like a pretty whack thing to do in front of thousands and thousands of people, but oh well.
And you've got the super top, and it's always real sweaty in the super top with the stage there.
I mean, that's a really big gig. I mean, it's hard to compete. But I've done quite a few of the Pirate Station gigs in Russia.
Oh, hey.
Which is bananas. I've done like I think I did 4 or 5 of those last year. Yeah. I did like the one in Ekaterinburg, and I did one in Latvia, one in Lithuania, one in Latvia, one in Estonia, and one in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And they were all ridiculous. Like,
and over that way, people go nuts for Eurofunk. Like, they go crazy.
Yeah.
So you must just get.
Oh no! It was, they're always bananas, and they do a really full-on kind of production as well with like topless dancing girls and all that. But I actually played the gig in Christchurch I did was bananas. It's Mad Hatter's Tea Party. That was crazy too. Like crazy production, like. People climbing up ropes and people in costumes and girls in bikinis on rollerblades and like so that was kind of cool. I mean, we often have that kind of circusy like crazy mad vibe at parties in New Zealand. We tend to be a bit more kind of
PC, a bit more kosher, I think.
Just kind of normal and cool and stuff. So that was quite fresh. And I think that kind of thing gives the party a really cool vibe because everyone's all dressed up and it's all a bit surreal. People can just kind of lose their cool and go with it, and party.
Yeah. I think we've got a crew here in New Zealand that are all about that. Yeah. About the whole making it just like warping the experience so that everyone can just let loose and have a good time.
Rather than just sort of hands in pockets kind of vibes, you know?
Yeah, totally. Hands in pockets, that's the worst.
Yeah.
So what I'm really interested in actually is because Goldie is coming over soon, and Goldie is a bit of a multi-talented guy. You know, he does the old artwork, and he also does a bit of like orchestral composition and that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and he likes to be a twit on TV. He's good at that too.
He's a palm, yeah.
Yeah. No, he's done quite a bit of that lately. Dancing with the no, not Dancing with the Stars, but Guess Who's Coming to Dinner and all that.
That's
sort of
right. He's becoming a bit of a mainstream celeb. That guy. That's what he's aiming there.
Yeah. Oh, he's a very amusing man. He's quite funny.
He's good quality, but just because I mean, like, he's been around. He's been around for a while, and Concord Dawn is sort of the household name of New Zealand drum and bass as well. What other creative talents do you have?
Ooh, I'm good at embellishing stories. Like, actually, all those parties I told you about were rubbish. No. I can embellish stories. That's somehow creative, I guess. But I do like to cook. That's kind of the thing I do to chill out, I guess. Like to go and cook. And my missus has been real busy with work, and she's doing a thesis at the moment or whatever. So like, quite happy to cook. And there's lots of metaphors between cooking and making music. It's about fitting the right ingredients. Not a little bit of cheese, but not too much cheese. And there's lots of things that carry between the two.
Little foodie analogies for you.
Yeah, not getting it too hot and burning it and all that sort of stuff. So So that's something I like to do, and man's got to eat and all that. So
what's your favourite meal to cook?
I love cooking pasta, love it. But we're supposed to be like supposed to be on a gluten-free diet, and that doesn't really go well with pasta. But I'm eating pasta anyway. I don't care, man. I love it. I've got a little pasta maker, like for cutting up pasta and all that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got to eat pasta if you got the pasta maker.
Exactly, and I've got a little bit of I was just there for like a bit of a summer holiday just before I came down here, northern Italy. And as always, I bought like tons of salami and oils.
Tuscan olive oil.
Yeah, I have quite the collection actually at home. I've got like big old, big gallon bloody bottles of it and that. So.
Yeah. But it's don't even get me started. We can't go there.
It's good stuff. It's good for you.
It's real good. So obviously we've got the cooking and the sitting in the studio thinking about cooking while you're making tunes. With all that in the mix, what's coming out new other than the EP that you mentioned?
Well, apart from that, there's 3 tunes I've done with Trey. We did one in Vienna and 2 down in Wellington that'll be coming on Uprising. Also with one of those will be Trey's in a remix of Thomas Oliver Band, Baby I'll Play, like the title.
Oh yeah.
Which is a gorgeous tune that he's done. And then I've got a tune with Jade, which will be coming out, and then another one on a solo tip.
Yeah.
I've got 12 coming from Dose and Prolix. Dose is a Kiwi
nice
kid
one.
who's moved over to London and has been working with Prolix quite a bit lately. So that's going to keep me going for the next couple months. Yeah. And then I'll write some new ones, and that'll be the ones after that, So.
And Dose will keep you honest, especially getting together with Prolix. Man.
Yeah. Oh, no, serious tunes. Real serious tunes. Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, if I gave you, here's a little hypothetical for you, just to see how this creative mind goes away. If I gave you 3 hours, 1 gold bar, and a personal teleporter that could teleport you anywhere, what would you do?
I'd probably teleport. Can you teleport through time as well, or just through space?
No, it's just a teleporter. Yeah, it's not a time travel machine.
I'd probably teleport to wherever Skrillex was and hit him over the head with a gold bar, I guess. No, I don't.
Gold bar.
No, that was that's pure jokery.
Go back to emo.
Yeah. I don't know what I'd do, to be honest. I'd probably just blow it all on synths, to be honest.
Yeah. See, I am denied about the gold bar because I thought you just teleport to a bank.
Yeah.
Oh, you could do. I've been asking this wrong. I wanted to ask you. So, one of mine mates said that he'd hold his breath and teleport to the moon.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and then teleport back.
That's not a bad answer. But then what would you do with a gold bar? Just spend it when you go back.
Yeah.
I'd probably where I would go actually is I'd go to 5G in Tokyo, which is like the synth store. I've been in there and it's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's like synth porn. It's just like piles of Jupiter 8s and it's just ridiculous. But it's really expensive. And you
got the teleporter.
This is it, and you've got to do the shipping thing from Japan. So teleport a gold bar, go in there, grab a couple of synths, teleport back home.
Leave the gold bar, to be honest. gentleman with the, hey, where'd our synths go? But there's a gold bar here. Sweet.
Yeah, exactly.
And it'd take you about 3 hours to clear out the place.
Yeah, probably. Did a bloody big wheelbarrow, that's for sure, though.
There we go. All right, so something that we always do here at the very end of our interviews. Man, have we been talking this long? Didn't even see the time. I call it the shameless plug.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. So what you're allowed to do is just for like the next very short while, shamelessly as possible, plug something that you just want our listeners to just chase after it.
Well, I'm a pretty shamey guy, actually, so I'll just say, like, there's a new EP out, and it's like, it's on iTunes and that, and if you go and buy it, that'll be cool.
Oh, sweet.
If heaps of you buy it, then I can go and buy a Synths in Tokyo. That would be that would be really nice.
Fundraise for a trip to 5G.
I wouldn't need any like magical teleporters or whatever. If everyone would just do their bit and go out there and grab it.
The magic of your Kiwi audience.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, thank you very much for coming into the studio.
Anytime, bro.
It was a mad good time talking with you. Sweet. And we might keep you around to get a few stings off you, because your last sting has got our old co-host, so Matt here doesn't get included.
Oh, that's pretty sad, isn't it? No, he needs to be included, yeah.
Sweet. All right, well, thank you.
No worries, bro.
All the best with everything that's coming out and all the things that we've been mentioning.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I'm off to Aussie on the weekend, so hopefully it's a bit warmer out there.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully.
Should be.
If you're not in and around Melbourne and that.
No, I'm out to Perth, so that should be warm as.
I'm from Perth.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'll be wearing my shorts and jandals, hopefully.
Hey, yeah, yep. And that crazy drum and bass audience over there.
Yeah, it's always bananas out there.
It's a beast.